another day. Let's see. Oh shit, I hope I do not get sick. Hold up, I see you guys typing. Give me 1 second. Put another one of these in. Hold on. Sorry, 1 second, guys. Trying to fix my multi-stream chat. Work. I don't know why it's always like hit or miss. YouTube. Multi-stream. YouTube. Oh. Maybe we'll get it going. What up, Ahmed? What up, Ahsoka? Eklak? Mitchell? Sky? What's up? What up, what up? What's up, Zombie Goldie? Going? Yeah, I can just not get... Oh wait, what the heck? Why is it like way over there? The fuck? Hold, please. I see him popping up there, but I don't see him popping up here. Interesting. Maybe we'll just do it like this. Do it like this. What's up, Nilak? Have you just not saw my messages? I don't know, hard to say. What's up, Mohammed? What's up, Soul King? How's it going? How's it going? What did you send me messages on? Trying to figure out what you sent me messages on. Let's face cam. Not here. No sirree. I'll figure out what threshold to do to make a face cam or face reveal or whatever. We'll see. Another event starting tomorrow. Oh yeah, huh? Man, I don't get that, man. I don't know why. That's so dumb. What's up, Baguette? They're off a long time ago in game. It's all good. Well, that might be why. The only time I've really logged into the game this week has been for District Showdown. Outside of that, just been doing holiday type stuff. Ready with my gold? Hell no. Hell no. I'm gonna wait for the new infantry hero. I don't think that there's really much that this new event is gonna provide that I want. Yeah, like it maybe some like the reward stuff in it. Like, for example, like in this one they had the Secret Beast Choice Pods, the OC chips, and the emojis. Like, I'll probably get those same things. Other than that, like, yeah, I don't really care for anything else, honestly. I did see that title card that they have in the new one. The one that's similar to this one. It looks kind of cool. Might get that, but I mean, even then, I already have one, so it's like, I don't really care too much. What's up? Oh, thank you, Baguette, for the resubscription on Twitch. Thanks, brother. Reduce the sound of the song. Oh yeah, you know what? Actually, I can. I think it may have been up because I was watching some streams last night. I think I was watching Peanut. Any information on the new infantry heroes? Nope. I can only guess it's going to be Rally. I'm about 90% sure it's going to be Rally. And then obviously the Roulette hero will be Field, but we'll see. But no, I haven't heard anything. I have a question. Who's better in Field? Bodala Claude or Bodala Mia? Mia Claude? I mean, it depends. Like, do you need more damage, or do you just need straight up, like, a buff squad? If you need more damage, then Bodala Mia. But at the same time, like, Claude should be in any one of your marches. Like, Claude should be one of your 5 marches, is what I'm saying. And honestly, like, Bodala doesn't need to be. So if it was up to me, out of those 3 heroes, I would run Miyamoto and Claude. But if you need the damage bonus, then run Bodala Claude. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just not really a Bodala fan. What's up, Mozen? Back streams. Yeah, we got through Thanksgiving, so got some time now to do this again for a bit. Hey, bro, how's it going? I'm good, Manny. How are you? Manny Gandan. Yo, Dushni, Moji. Appreciate it. Nice to hear from you as well. Ethan gets a skin in the new event. Yeah, I saw that. I'm sure it'll probably be something cosmetic like the Rubina one. If they go through this event and give Rubina a cosmetic skin, but then they give Ethan a skin in this next event that actually like changes his skills, then Rubina will officially be the only hero that's ever gotten a skin that's strictly cosmetic, and Rider players will be pissed. So I don't see them bringing out an Ethan skin that modifies his skills. Honestly, I don't care about the cosmetic things in this game, but I don't mind those events. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, the events themselves can supply you with a good amount of stuff, especially if you're lucky. I don't really care too much for the cosmetic stuff either, so I don't really go ham on them. But yeah, for me, I kind of want like the OC chips and the secret beast frags or whatever. That would be kind of it. Which infantry hero? Hold on. Which infantry hero would you recommend running Claude with? I mean, you can do it with like a number of different heroes. But honestly, it's mostly just anybody that can kind of keep them safe. Like, your Miyamoto's Eileen's are pretty popular because that's like your AoE march. Boyd is really good to pair him with because the shields will keep him healthy, and then the bonus damage that Claude provides will amplify the damage that Boyd has in the field, while also the damage reduction that he applies will also make Boyd's shields last longer. So Boyd's a really good one to pair Claude with. If you have to, Bodala's fine because Bodala can just keep him up. But I like Marco personally. Marco or Boyd would probably be my 2 picks to pair with Claude. But I do like Boyd with Isabella, so for me it's Boyd, Isabella, Marco, and Claude. Concerning the Beast video, can we have a spoiler of what did change? It's not that anything necessarily changed per se. It's that I've kind of gotten like my second chipsets up that focused on areas that my first chipsets weren't, and the behavior of some of the damage that's being dealt out of my second beast march, simply because of specific like special attributes being targeted and whatnot, made me kind of approach the way that damage is dealt by beasts differently. And it's kind of surprising to me, but when I first saw it, I was shocked and confused. Then when I kind of like unpacked it to understand why it happened, it made a lot of sense to me. So it's kind of restructured the way that I would tell players to focus and like what stats to focus on. It reinforces what I was already talking about in the video anyways, but it really at the same time amplifies the reason why you should build a certain way, and not maybe if some of the ways that other people are saying too. Mika1960, thank you for the follow on Twitch. Appreciate it, by the way. Sorry guys, it's snowing today. It's our first snow of the year, and I can definitely tell because my nose is already runny and stuff, so I apologize if I'm like, I kind of noticed it yesterday. I was breathing a bit heavier and stuff because it got super cold overnight, and now my nose is runny and stuff, so I apologize if I kind of sound funny or if you can hear me breathing in the mic. Promise it's not on purpose. It's best for the game. Oh, it's the best way for the game to make some money, I think. Yeah, it absolutely is. I mean, they're a business end of the day, so they're going to make money. If we compare Janet Felix with Janet Rick, which is better? Janet Rick, just because Rick has more amplified stats is kind of the best way to put it. And, or like some of his base stats is a little bit more how would you say it? Like a little bit more offensive. Like for example, like part of Felix's kit is that he reduces like counter damage taken, which is kind of more obviously like a defensive type thing. But a lot of Rick's kit enables Janet's. So like his core rage skill obviously benefits very well with graffiti, while also his awaken skill benefits very well from things like basic attack damage and things like that, which all kind of circumvents and comes back to the amount of damage that like graffiti is doing and stuff. So I feel like Rick's a little bit more offensive, which is kind of odd to say since Felix is very offensive as well. It would be very marginal in how much better Rick and Janet is than Felix and Janet. Like you wouldn't notice a tremendous difference, but you definitely would notice a difference, especially the more that you have his skills transcended. Is probably the best way to put it. Why whales get very good equipment? 3 stat good, I mean. Like why do they get the 3 stat ones? It's just simply because it's going to be more stats. Unless I understand your question wrong, which feel free to correct me, but you're getting 3 stats on refinery pieces because if you maximize them and say it maxes out at 6 or 7% times, you know, 4 items times 3 slots, you know, you can get 21% stats times 4 slots. You could have 80% more stats. Like let's say you just rolled triple attack on all 4, you could have 80% more attack. It's a tremendous amount. What's up, DLS and Holy? How you doing? If you were to prioritize Hone 5th Special Hone from normal super armaments, not event, for infantry garrison players, how would you order them from most important to least important? I don't even use all of them. Like I don't like the boost one, for example, where it's like up for 3 seconds but takes like a 15-second cooldown. I would say that your chest piece and your weapon are probably the 2 most important ones, just because it's like 100%, or like you're going to get a lot of rage regen, which is very important in garrison, but at the same time, like the fact that this is like 100% uptime or like 100% use case, it's not like a chance that it'll happen. It's just every single time that you release a skill, you get bonus damage. Those things are nice. From there, obviously the counter attack is super nice on garrison. Like I wouldn't get this rare hone on rallies, for example, but on garrison it's nice, especially like in multi-rally garrisons or being swarmed. So I would say your weapon and chest, you can get either one first or second. It wouldn't really matter, first or second, either one. Then I would probably go for your back piece. Then I would do your pants. Part of that is because you do a lot of debuffing from garrison, whether that comes from your talents, your skills, things like that. And that'll increase your basic attack damage. So that's just a nice flat damage buff. So I would go weapon or chest, either one first or second, then back piece, then pants, and then helmet. That's the order I would do it in. Did I awaken my Isabella? Yeah. She's done. Is there a big difference after you awaken her? After you awaken her, no. Because I don't necessarily go for her awaken skill. I know that her awaken skill is bugged, and so it's technically working when she's support, even though it's not supposed to be. So I didn't really care for that part. But the part that definitely does make a difference is, for one, the squad size, getting her weapon up, and 2, when you transcend her first skill, and you go from debuffing 3 marches to debuffing 5 marches, that's definitely a huge noticeable difference. Not to say like untranscended isn't worth it. It like she does the same thing as Sophie, untranscended on her first skill. Sophie debuffs 3 individuals to take bonus damage, and same thing with her, untranscended, she debuffs 3 people. So she operates just like Sophie without having it transcended, so it's totally fine. Thanks. Yeah, no problem. Why is there no translation for Arabic? I don't understand what you're saying right now. Because there's no live closed captions. YouTube doesn't have that. You'll have to watch the video after the live stream ends. Say more about the bee stuff. You'll see it in the video. I gotta keep the want for the video. We did learn a lot, I will say that. With the bee stuff, there's definitely things that you wouldn't notice until you get like way up in terms of like your beast power. Like if I paired this and this, it would be like 11 mil pretty much. And I can run 2 9mm sets or 2 9mm sets. And once you cross certain thresholds, things start coming to light that you don't really see at the lower end, and they really amplify your value, which obviously benefits like more of like the whales and the spenders and stuff. but it's also something that you can work towards as a free-to-play player or small spender, because you can even see a lot of the benefits from just the standard gold ships, not just like the OC ones and stuff. So we'll talk about it. How to share item in auction house, difference with the price on it. Do I need to spend on the refinery to have it? No. So you need to list the item in the refinery, or sorry, in the auction house. And once the item is listed, you just have to find the item itself. So I would just have to filter for this item. And then once you find the item in the auction house, then from there you can hit the share button on it. So you just have to find your listing. Would you say Isabella is better than Daryl? Yeah, I like Isabella a lot. For one, she gives the debuff that she applies, but then she also gives this flat skill damage buff to the march that she's with. So I'm a huge Isabella fan. And for riders, I think that riders have a lot of really good heroes already. Like you have Daryl, Rubina, Felix, Janet, Rick, Elena, a lot of other heroes and stuff that you can use. So you're not as limited as, say, like infantry in field. So if you were to give up Daryl for Isabella, I think you're totally fine. I think that everybody should have Claude and Isabella in their marches. Simic Eufretina? Simic? Appreciate the follow on Twitch. Thank you so much. Keep it up, Z. Thank you. What's better, infantry squad block 60 or infantry squad defense 5%? Infantry squad block. You can get defense from many other things. Your garage, your refinery, your research, heroes, talents, things like that. But you can only get block or lethality from armaments. So because of that, because of the way that like things like diminished returns operates, and also because of like multiplicatives, where block is a multiplicative of your defense, to amplify your damage reduction, it's a multiplier of the end damage reduction as opposed to the beginning of the math equation. So block is very important. So I would go block over defense. Basar Pantat Barapi? I don't know how to pronounce that, Armored. I'm sorry. Basar Pantat Barapi. That's my assumption. If I was to pronounce that like in Tagalog. Tagalog? That's how I would probably say it. I want to ask, but bro, just ask away. What is my field march layout? I'm auto farming right now, but let me see how close this is. Yeah, this is pretty much it. It's pretty much where I'm running in the field at the moment. I'm heavily invested in infantry, but as a free-to-play low spender, it is hard to get 3 to 4 or 5 good sets and safety time since I naturally get range rider sets. Do you think it's worth going hybrid, or is it a trap? I would say it's a trap, simply because of the fact that you may be getting a lot of pieces for other things, but there are specific areas of the game that you can isolate your spending as a low spender or your resources to be able to promote bettering all your marches if all your marches are one troop type. One of those examples would be your parts. So instead of trying to get parts and everything, you can just get infantry specific parts and be able to give that benefit to all of your marches, as opposed to, let's say you're running 2 infantry, 2 rider, 2 ranged. If you were focusing on infantry parts, your other marches wouldn't benefit from it. Another place that you can see that would be like the refinery. If you were to just invest in just one of these slots, so just say just infantry, then all these buffs would apply to all your infantry marches. And then same thing with garage too. So between your garage, refinery, and your parts, that kind of gives the inclination you should focus on one troop type, especially if you're a free-to-play or low spender. Good night, John. Appreciate you. Oh, meant transcended? Yeah, no, there's honestly not too big of a difference between Isabella non-transcended and Isabella transcended. Like, if you can only transcend one skill, transcend reverse skill, so you debuff 60% more troops or squads than non-transcended. Other than that, mostly the transcending is just going to give you a bigger squad size. Is there a way to compare damage versus attack? If you're talking about squad damage to attack, there's a lot of factors kind of involved, but the running ratio that I usually give people is that for every 1% of squad damage, you need to have 3% attack to compensate for it. The higher your base attack is, the wider that gap is going to be, but 3% is usually a safe spot to land. What's up, bad boy? How's it going? I can show you, Mr. Bubba, an example of that. Oh shit. I'm going to try to open a new paint here without showing the paint that I'm making right now for the abuse video. Okay, I'll just do a new one. So really quick, guys, this is in regards to attack versus squad damage. So squad damage is a multiplier, right? And it's a multiplier of your base attack. So let's say, for example, that your attack is a 100 value, or because of your attack, you're dealing 100 damage. And because of your multiplier, you have an instance where you can do ×2, or you have 125, 150, 175, 200. And we're going to take the same increments over here. We're going to do 1.75, 1.5, 1.25, or 1. Now, if we take a calculator and we do this, this is obviously going to be 200. This is going to be 200. And then just for sake of purposes for this, 1.75, 218.75. This is 225. And then 175 times 1.25. Same thing, 218. So the purpose of this is to show you that if you hyper focus on just your attack, you're gonna net, like without also focusing on your multiplier, you're gonna net fairly low results. Same thing on the flip end. If you just focus strictly on your multiplier without focusing on your attack, you're gonna net similar results. And the more balanced you can make it, the better it's gonna be. But also, as you can see, you want your attack to be fairly up in the value as well before you get a good multiplier. If you start getting like squad damage and like focusing a bunch on your multiplier and your base attack isn't already higher, you're just going to start netting fairly low results. So yeah, you want to get attack and stuff like that where you can. So, you know, obviously your refinery, your parts are going to give that to you. Your garage is going to give that to you. And then your multiplier is going to be things like your lethality or your squad damage from armaments or from your refinery also. And that's where you're going to get your multiplier from. Thanks again, brother. No problem at all. Let me go back here. There's a team matching in Apex handpicked by IGG. A friend of mine plays in 5090 and he is pretty sure about it. They're never allied with SSI. No, we made that comment yesterday that they'll never put like SSI, ROK, DHX, things like that on the same map, which is kind of upsetting. But I don't know if it's handpick or if it's just on purpose. If it just says like, hey, top 4 teams, do not allow them to be on the same map as each other. And then everybody else ranked, 5 through 100 and say AR, you can put them all within the same maps. I don't really know, but based on the logic, that's kind of how it seems to do. And Janet Felix, is Janet the leader? It doesn't necessarily matter. I would say Felix is probably the leader, and reason for that is that Janet's skill is a flat damage skill. Where is she at? Janet's skill is a flat damage skill, where Felix's skill is a damage over time skill over a period of time. And when you look at the hero talent for increasing the skill damage after using a rage skill, if you have Felix in the lead, then he'll essentially use this skill to deal bonus damage for the next 5 seconds. But then after he uses that, he'll get a skill damage bonus, which will then increase this damage. But if you did it the other way, she would use this without a bonus and then just increase the damage that skill damage that she does for the next few seconds, which would benefit him. But if you have Felix in lead, they can both benefit from it. So I would do Felix lead. Big fiery butt. Okay, fuck off. You also sell equipment? Just ones I don't use anymore. So, for example, I have this one. I used to have this one. So I replaced this one, which has triple gathering bonus, which is nice, but it just doesn't have the basic attribute that I want. And I just replaced it with this one. I don't like flip the market or anything like that because it's really hard to try to pull a profit right now because there's so few buyers. So good luck if you're trying to flip for profit. I just sell stuff that I don't need anymore. Is lethality and block the same percentage like in Garage? 100 firepower squad. So it's not a static number, right? Because your lethality and block will always remain the same, but based on whoever you're fighting as an opponent, their lethality and block will change, and it's that gap between the two that really determines how much of a damage amplifier you're getting. If you have, you know, say 600 lethality or 600 block, there's a certain level of damage or damage reduction you're getting, but what's different is that when you look at this part here, there's a second part to it that says when your lethality is greater than the enemy's block or your block is greater than the enemy's lethality, your squad deals additional damage or receives less damage. That amount changes based on the opponent that you're fighting. And yeah, that has a very hard diminished return drop off. We have taken a look at that. 1 second. I'm trying to figure out which lethality testing. I think it's this one. So we have tested it before, for sure. So here's like the drop off. You peak out between about 15 to 20 as your advantage, and then you really drop off in terms of its effectiveness once you get beyond that, and it kind of plateaus around 80 or so. So what that means is that for every 10 points of like additional lethality that you have as an advantage or block as an advantage, it goes down to about, you're getting about 2 out of the 10's worth of additional damage or damage reduction once you get past a certain point, if that kind of makes sense. But we have tested it, yes. Can you do an account review for me? Send me an arena report, and if I need to go beyond that, then yeah, we could do the entrustment. I'll look at that in a minute. Thanks, E-Time Sleep. Yeah, no worries at all, okay. Happy to help. Dude, if I open up the entrustment, I'm just gonna look at an arena report anyways. But yeah, I'll do it. Oops. On a scale of 1 to 10, how hot is Jennifer Lawrence? And why you give her a 10? Probably like a 12. It's always been a 12. So which troop type should have high lethality and block? Every single one of them. Because again, you don't get lethality or block anywhere else. So you want to have as high as possible on all your armament sets. Ranged. I mean, at the same time too, though, like that's also kind of like a blanketed question. Because it depends on like if you're a garrison leader, if you're a rally leader, if you just play field. Like if you just play field, there's no reason to take any defensive stats at all, really. If you're playing rally, you should probably lean more offensive. And if you play garrison, you should probably lean more defensive unless you're ranged. So there's a lot of other factors involved. Yeah, so what I tell people when they ask how much lethality or block should I get, based on the testing that we did, what I would recommend is that you should take your average G bracket that you end up in, right? So let's say, for example, you play AR, IR, GW for 2 months, and you notice that you land in somewhere between G25 to G30, right? And that's pretty consistent across your events. What I would do is I would just go out in the field and hit anything that moves, right? Whether it be a non-spender, a low spender, their whales, everybody in between, right? And just hit everybody. And then look at the reports and just see the range of lethality and block that you typically see in your bracket, because it's going to obviously be different in, like, say, Apex as opposed to like Fearless, right? The average. And then once you kind of see that median or that average, I would just aim to be 20% higher than that median, because then you don't really get impacted so much by the diminishing returns factor. And you kind of have a target at that point as to like what you should aim for. Somebody in a higher G bracket should obviously aim for higher values, and someone in a lower bracket should aim for a lower value. What that value should be based on your average opponent. Holy shit, it's Ollie, man. How are you doing? There's someone who can join at any time and put a smile on your face. Let's see. What are you running? 1, 2, 3 rider, 1 infantry, 1 ranged. I would get these ones since you're already at 12 plus. I would get these other ones to around level 10 and then get the other ones up because you're using all your marches. How many marches are you using in the field, Bugs? Are you just using the one? All I ever scolded Cole. Would you cheer like a cheerleader or hee-haw like me? Isn't that kind of the same thing? I feel like you hee-hawing is the same thing that I would see on TV as a cheerleader with pom-poms. I could see it being both. I use all 3 riders. Okay, that's what I figured as much. Okay. So I mean, obviously it's all a work in progress, right? As long as I don't see any like, ooh, that's gotta go. That's kind of it. Garrison. Yeah, I mean everything looks fine. You don't have an overwhelming amount of garrison homes. It's not like all your homes. Sorry, freaking stuffed up nose. It's not like all your homes are red anyways. So having 2 of them sit at that for you, so they can provide something good while you garrison. Because I do know you garrison for your team, is totally fine. But yeah, eventually over time, you'll obviously want to remove those if possible. Yeah, I mean, these look good. Definitely survivability to them. You have basic attack in the top. Basic attack damage, which is nice as well. Counter damage taken reduction as well, which is nice. Yeah, looks good there. I feel like beast and everything is a work in progress for people, so you're fine on that. I mean, yeah, you're building these out first, which is good. Yeah, no, I mean, everything looks fine, man. Like, I wouldn't say that there's anything out of the ordinary or wrong here. For your 3 marches, yeah, these are probably fine. What I would say, actually, if I was you, since I see that your Claude is awakened, I would put your best armament set on Felix and Janet, and then I would run Elena and Daryl, because what ends up happening is Elena gives bonus flank damage, and when you hit somebody with AoE that's not your primary target in the field, it's technically flank damage as well. So she'll boost the AoE damage of Daryl. So I would actually run Felix Janet with your best armament set. I'd run your second best armament set on Elena and Daryl, and then I would actually run Chasey and Claude. Since Chasey has high survivability and she debuffs, and his HP cut and damage amplification and stuff will just make these other marches that you have perform exceedingly better as well. Plus his flat damage amplification will compound and multiply the damage bonus that Chasey gets on her basic attack damage. Yeah, it's important, especially for riders. I think I talked about that in my Discord earlier. Since right now, and as we've always seen, like, riders' biggest weakness is that they just get swarmed out. So you having survivability and sustain makes it to where your rallies don't get swarmed out, and same thing with your garrison. So having a strong amount of defense and block is definitely good. I would say just don't overdo it. You know, just I would say like run like a 60-40 ratio with attack as opposed to like defense. What's up, Yalson? How's it going? Yeah, I noticed that, but you can see that they're kind of a work in progress guy, so that's kind of what I said. I would just hone off the things that obviously need to be fixed. I'm sure he knows that there's a ranged one there. Don't really need to call that one out. Throw him under the bus on it, but yeah. Yeah. Are you running 4 marches in the field, Octavio? Felix Shannon is heavy damage. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I would stick your best armaments on them, and then I would use your chasey Claude nearby to amplify that damage for the damage buff that Claude gives, and you'll just kind of see you get compounded at that point. Felix Selena, yeah, Felix Selena is a great pair. It's always been kind of a great pair for a long time. It's just that Janet now offers some synergy with Felix that we haven't seen before. But Felix gets a flat damage bonus the longer that he's in fights, and Elena gets a flank damage bonus. So those two combined makes them a very high damage as well. 4, yes, okay, that's what I figured. Just making sure. Sorry, trying not to breathe in the mic here. Let's see. So we're probably running 1, 2, 3 infantry, 1 ranged. Weakened, awakened. Okay. So, I mean, these look fine. I'm trying to think. Yeah, these will do fine. Because these are awakened for your ranged. Claude's a work in progress. This is gonna be your AoE march. I mean, this is gonna be like a really slow march and meh on damage output. So let me see how you're running. Yeah, like I wouldn't put my second strongest on Bodala Riven, just because all that like extra damage and whatever else that you're pumping into him is kind of being like nullified almost when Bodala isn't a very offensive hero. So at that point, I would probably move your second best armaments to Miyamoto and Eileen, so then you're at least getting like that AoE portion of it. And honestly, what I might even do here is I might, since you have your strongest armaments on Stella, you should at least make this like your highest damage march. So run a Stella Riven, so at least you have like high damage output to capitalize and maximize your armaments, your strong armaments being on that march. And then just use Bodala and Claude, as a debuff march. And Bodala will keep him healthy with his strong shield. You don't need strong armaments there, because obviously you're not looking to have it have like high damage output. But yeah, I would run Bodala, Claude, Stella Riven, and then Miyamoto Eileen. And then this pair is perfectly fine down here. Yeah, totally fine, Yasun. No problem at all. Which is your favorite hero, and why is Raigoro? Raigoro with man boobs, not the moves. Damage attack, damage reduction. Yeah, these look good too. Yeah, I mean, everything else looks good. Hones look good. Yeah. Yeah, nothing wrong here. I would just switch that up a little bit, because again, you have like a 4.5 mil, 4.6 mil infantry march. You're kind of like losing out a little bit by having a secondary or support on there that isn't really damage output. So I'd move some damage output to that, and then since Claude can give a damage amplification to nearby marches, you don't need to have him in that march to order to benefit from it. So yeah, I would move him over behind Bodala. That's the only thing I would do. I have 2 swaps left. Yeah, those are your best bets. Boyd Isabella would be great, because then you can get rid of the Bodala. If you were to get Boyd and Isabella, I would say run Boyd Isabella with your best infantry armaments, then run Miyamoto Eileen, and then run Stella and Claude, because Stella's already awakened, and at least you'll have damage output from her, and she can still keep her march healthy and alive because she has like the 30% HP, things like that. So Yowson, thank you for resubscribing on Twitch. Appreciate you. I don't understand Chase's ability to kill troops. Even if I put third arms on her, as long as she is paired with Felix, Elena, or Rick, she still kills the most troops in arena reports. So arena reports are very bad representations of how pairings actually perform in the field. You actually just have to get out there and try them. Because with the arena, you can't specifically do targeting. You can't like control which march you're targeting, that kind of a thing. And a lot of marches benefit from certain, I guess you would say, like certain like instances in the field. So like flank damage from Elena, or you know, bonus damage versus range squads, you know, damage reduction versus other squads, things like that. Like you can't really control a lot of those variables in arena. It's all very random. So yes, it may look like it's high damage output there, but your next best bet is to just kind of test it in the field and see what happens. You may net similar results, but at least it's more controllable. But Chasey just has very high damage amplification with her basic attacks, because a lot of other marches don't have basic attack damage reduction, but they do have skill damage taken reduction from things like talents and stuff. So especially like in lower brackets and whatnot, and really all over the place, if they don't have, or if you have a lot of skill damage taken reductions, which we can look at riders as an example. Riders have skill damage reduction here, skill damage reduction here, and then on Garrison skill damage reduction there. But these two apply in the field, they're already reducing 21% of the skill damage being taken, and that's not a damage taken reduction that applies to basic attack damage reduction. So Chase can shine in that sense, where she kind of circumvents that damage reduction. No, you're good, Armor. Don't worry about it. Chilling. No problem at all, Gabriel. I appreciate that. Appreciate you saying that. Who is the manliest hero in game in your opinion? What's her name? Michelle, for sure. I think Michelle is the manliest hero in the game. Doesn't matter who leads between Bodala and Miyamoto. Bodala for sure, if you're gonna run that pair, because again, same thing with the talents. Bodala is not going to benefit from a skill damage bonus after proccing a rage skill, but Miyamoto will. So if you have Miyamoto as lead, he'll use his rage skill, you get a skill damage bonus, and Bodala will benefit from it. While if it's reversed, Bodala will use his skill, you'll get a skill damage bonus, Miyamoto will use his skill and be able to benefit from it. So I would run Bodala in front of Miyamoto if you had to pick. Drinking my sparkling water. How did you in game? You've already reviewed my account like 2 months ago. Yeah, I got you. I end up having to remove people and stuff to try to make room on my friends list for more account reviews. So that's probably why it's not on there. I'm not ignoring you, I promise. It's not a hate thing. I just have to remove people that aren't in my alliance or whatever have you, so that I can make room for other account reviews. Hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving though, if you and your country celebrate it. Anyone got any big plans for Christmas or New Year's or anything you guys are doing, or we all just degenerates stuck on this game for the holidays? I mean, if your Christmas plans are to play Doomsday, welcome home. Probably in the same boat. Thinking of trading one of my infantry heroes for Isabella between Bodala and Eddie, who is probably not worth having in the long run. I'd say probably a Dut. Just because Bodala can protect buff and debuff marches pretty well. Like a Bodala and what's her name? Bodala Bianca is good. Bodala Claude is good. Things like that. So you can still get a lot of benefits out of Bodala for protecting your buffers and debuffers. Yeah, I'd probably say a Dut unless you're like absolutely using her. A DIT doesn't really come into the factor as like one of the current heroes to use in a march unless you have like 4 or 5 marches. But even then, we're about to have new infantry marches in a month, and I imagine that the roulette hero is going to be another field hero at least. So we'll have at least one more field hero soon. So she'll fall even further behind. Oh, yeah, I got you. Did you send me an arena report or something, Yao-san, to actually like review? My man Stan has been shamed. Dude, Stan's a beast. I wish they would improve Stan. Where is he? There he is. Oh, no, there he, no. Where's Stan? Hello? Oh, there he is. I didn't think he was at the very, very, very bottom. Oh, dude. Yeah. Maybe we garrison, dude. Maybe I just go to like G100 and just garrison with Stan. Who do we pair with Stan for garrison? Infantry, garrison, defense. Who should we pair him with? Who do you think's the next one? Deal bonus damage. HP. Little Edward or John Sunderland? Maybe even Charlie? Charlie's got the rage regen, doesn't he? Yeah. Maybe run like a Stan Charlie, go to like G200. Okay. I got you. Ah, sure. Oh, here we go. Weekend. So I would. Are you running a leader armament set? Oh, you totally are. Look at you. I would move. I would move Bianca behind Bodala, for sure. And then I would move Miyamoto to Eileen to have an AoE pair, and then I would move Riven, or Claude to behind Riven. Riven will keep Claude alive and healthy, but she also has fairly decent damage output, especially on territory. So he will help amplify that with his skills. And then his damage reduction will also keep her shields healthy as well, that she obtains while fighting. So yeah, I would go Miyamoto, Eileen, Riven, Claude, Bodala, Bianca. That's probably all I would change. May I see your Alliance's Darksteel event? I'm not in my alliance. I'm in a IWRI for theirs. Yeah. So I'm in IWRI for their Alliance District Showdown. I don't know why I can't beat that guy in Arena. Because again, Arena is a very poor representation of like how your marches actually do. He's got like an Awakened Louis, for example, so that's doing a full circle. I don't know, it's probably just, if I would do assume, probably the troop arrangement and the armament dispersion. Yeah, as Regora's holding 3. And then he's got 4 marches focusing 2 of yours, so yeah, it's just troop dispersion and placement. He doesn't even have any armaments on Claude. Yeah. You have one 3.9 mil, he has a 3.8, 2.9, and a 1.8. So it's the armament difference in the troop placement that's really sealing the deal there. I made 2 upgraded, or I upgraded 2 helmets. I want to know if I should sell it. I mean, they're both good to use if you need them, but yeah, you could also sell them, but you probably won't expect to get too much out of it. Market prices have gone way, way down. I'm yet to do my heroic legacy, thinking of replacing Tom, Hank, Peter with Boyd, Bodala, Eileen, Cedric, Felix, and Chasey. I would stay away from Bodala and get Boyd instead, because he'll give the same protection that Bodala gives, but actually have like good damage output. Eileen is solid too. Cedric is solid. I mean, obviously Felix and Chasey is already a proven rider pair. Rick Chasey taking swarms. Well, I haven't seen Rick Ethan yet. Yeah, it's decent. It's still very heavily dependent on the garrison and if they have like good defense and damage reduction. But the damage output is super high on Rick and Chasey in terms of like single target, that it's almost like forcing situations where they have to refill the rallies more often and faster, so it's like less pressure from swarms. Or if they like focus so much on swarms and less on refilling the rally can die super fast, and then the rally ends up trading super poorly for a while. So it's kind of just like almost a different dynamic as to why it works well. Thanks, Crocsar LP, appreciate you following. Hey, good night, Yalson, appreciate you being here, brother. What do I think about Armored's favorite hero, Robert? I think that Armored is a comedian, and he does what he does well. At the same time, I've invested a lot into Are you a... Hold on, I can find out. Are you a garrison or rally player at all for your team? I mean, like, one thing I'm already kind of seeing off the bat is that you have quite a bit of, like, grass beasts, which are very high counter, so it requires you to be targeted. No worries at all, brother. AR report when FIB swarmed. Do I have the AR report when FIB swarmed by Rick Chasey? No, but what I do have is this report from Off Limits or whatever, where we had Nikhil garrisoning with Rick and Chasey, and it traded like that. I mean, this might not be the best representation, but it works really well just based on that. Sometimes you do garrison. If there's ever even a slight possibility or chance that you're going to garrison or rally in the future, I would stop everything that you're doing and invest solely on a gold Pango or a gold Bull ASAP. Stop investing in anything else other than that, because what you really want is the 400% stats and the up to 900% damage when in a rally or garrison, depending on if it's a Bull or Pango. So if you garrison, I would get a gold Pango as soon as possible. That would be the most important thing to do. Stop everything you're doing and do that. Jonathan, any good for counter rallies, assistant? No, Jonathan isn't in the meta at all, unfortunately. Is there only one legendary hero in game and it was Jonathan? I would still not recommend it to my worst enemy. Yeah, unfortunately. He had potential, but other heroes came out far too quickly. And when he was released, his skills didn't work. Do you know why you did 3 times more beast damage than Broccoli Whale? Yes. The beast pairing and the fact that he was swarming was triggering a lot on the OC chips to stack. Nice to meet you in last IR when you were against Crypt. Yeah, Crypt's awesome. I love the guy. Good friends with him for a very long time. Crip's a beast, man. Pleasure to meet you as well. But yeah, Crocstar LP, thank you for the Twitch follow, by the way. What is this? Yes, we can look at this. Flashy Shire. What do you... I'm sorry, refresh my memory. Do you want, like, just a whole review, or is there something specific you want reviewed? Yeah, either one of those, Maddox, the Gold Pango / Perp Pango, or Gold Pango Gold Bull is still good. Yeah, it's still totally fine. The changes that I was waiting for them to give me were just like the changes in how much bonus damage, combo, and counter and stuff like that we're doing, because they said they like made changes to those. And then I made mention that my Beast video in my Discord was delayed because of recent stuff that I've seen with like chip behavior. So the chip video will be delayed until I can test that in Island Raid. But in terms of like those beast pairings, those are still fine. For one, it's like the pairing itself, but then two, it's also the chips that you can get that support those beasts that still work really well in Garrison or rallies. Would Pango be good with a green beast for Garrison rather than Pango and Rhino? Yeah, Pango and a green beast is typically far better, especially because of getting counter chips as a priority. Like, for example, I've seen a maxed Pango and a Gaia Deer, and the Gaia Deer only had like 0 or 1-star OC chips, take triple rallies in G6, and that beast pair like out-traded everything that everyone was throwing at them. Yeah, there's definitely a lot to discover with the game, you're not wrong. That's kind of the game itself and IGG and their lack of information has given me the platform to create the type of channel that I have, because I kind of just do all the deep diving and analytical work that shouldn't be necessary if they actually had game guides, but is. Unfortunately, they're not very transparent with changes and stuff. Yeah, I would switch off the Rhino bad boy, and I would put a green beast in place. If you're not going to go like a double physical, like a Pango Pango or Pango Bull, then yeah, I would go Pango and a grass beast. Gaia Deer preferably. If not, then like the Hurricane Draco and stuff is fine. Anyone know the exact number of superb helmets we can get in IR? Not sure. Yeah, so I can show you why it works really well real quick, bad boy too. So, just looking at like OC chips, for example, the reason why you don't even need to like star these out, if you were to get just 6 of them 0-starred, at 0 stars when using a leader skill, there's a 50% chance to get active skill damage, and this increases by 3.5% for every stack, right? If you look at like the fire OC chips, they stack up to 15 times. The water OC chips stack up to 12 times, but the grass chips stack up to 20 times. So that's the difference. So even at 0 stars, you can get this to stack up to 70% bonus damage plus this 93% bonus active skill damage. And that stacks from, at 0 stars, a counterattack. So when you're on Garrison and you're in a multi-rally Garrison, or in your case, you're a rider, so they like to swarm a bunch, every single time that you're being attacked by multi-rallies or swarms, you're proccing a chance to stack this Grove Fae, and you can stack those 20 stacks really easily on Garrison. So the grass beast side of things is mostly because of the chip enablement that they have and the opportunity on Garrison. There's still a lot of other viable options like Pluto Jellyfish, Otachi, a second Gold Pango, you know, Gold Bull, things like that. Like, there's a lot of things that you can do that still work really well, but a lot of the reasons why certain support beasts work well is not because of the beast itself, but it's the chip enablement that it provides. And with the grass beast, it then gives you the opportunity to get these OC grass chips, which stack extremely fast in Garrison, as we just talked about. Zatrina Heartless, thank you for the follow on Twitch, appreciate you. Is it okay to run Purple Bull and Legendary Cat for rallies? Yeah, it's totally fine. The only thing that you really have to pay attention to with that pair is that your cat is going to proc off of crits for the support. The support active skill procs on a crit, and the bulls themselves build a lot of combo. So as long as you can supplement getting more crit from your chips and stuff like that to make it to where your tiger or your cat actually procs attacks quite frequently, then yeah, you're totally fine. I'm a rally main. I work in gold bull max plus OC chips. What assistant non-rare beast would you recommend and what chips? I would go combo for one. So I would go either the crab, Pluto jellyfish, but obviously you said not rare. I would either go crab or a second gold bull. Either one would work perfectly fine. The reason why, so the second gold bull would benefit because you would get things like when in a rally, leader damage 7%, things like that. When triggering combo against a garrison target deals additional damage. You get like that additional physical side of things that you don't get elsewhere. But one of the unique things about like the crab, for example, is that on its support skill, if a combo is triggered during this time, has a 30% chance to trigger another combo. So this is actually the only beast in the game where typically you can only proc one combo or one counter, you know, that kind of a thing per second. This is the only beast that allows you to proc 2 combos in 1 second potentially. And obviously with an OC bull plus having his, you know, core potential and stuff like that maxed out, you get a lot of combo already. So between the attributes of the combo of the crab itself, plus you would typically get combo chips on the crab and the crit chips from bull, you now have a high chance to proc many more, or like in this case just an additional attack, but many more instances of additional damage basically is what I'm getting at by running this pair. So if you want to have like a tried and true pair, then run gold bull plus gold bull, and on the second gold bull I would run combo chips. If you're running the gold crab, then I would run same thing. I would run water combo chips. What's up, Oasis? How's it going? What's cooking today? Not shit, man. Just getting sick because I'm looking out the window and it's snowing. I was wondering why I woke up with a stuffy nose. Can you send me the new updated hero talents for Chasey, please? Yes. It's totally fine if it's trash. It just gives you something to work towards, bad boy. But plus, you're also not in like G4 or something like that, so it's sorry, I missed these messages, by the way. It's not something you really need to worry about right away. You can just slow build towards it, but it gives you at least something to work towards. Chasey, yeah. Where's she at? Do you want garrison talents? I mean, garrison talents, I think it's the same thing that I've sent you before. This is what I would run. This way you maximize your rage regen. You get your skill damage reduction, and more rage regen. I don't think it's different than what I've sent you before, but that's what I would run with Chasey. What if I have a complete set of 3-star legend chips? Does a complete set of 0-star OC chips do better still? If it's specifically, so it's very unique. It's specifically on an OC chip for a grass set if you're a garrison main. Any other instance, no. Does it matter on a single rally talent or multi-rally talent? No, I would just, the reason why this talent works really well on garrison is because you don't have like this talent, for example, which does require you to be in a multi-rally. This would work in single rally or multi-rally. There's no multi-rally requirement here or here. So I'd max this out, take 4 out of 5 points here and max this out. For garrison, if the Pango has counter chips, what kind of damage on chip should the assist have? If you have counter chips on your Pango, then for one, your second beast should be a counter procking beast, which would be something grass, where basically like, for example here on a Gaia deer, when dealing critical hits or triggering active skills through counterattacks, it increases the chance. Or here, counterattacks, proc this. Like, I would be running a support beast that procs off of counterattacks. Or if you're going to run something like another Pango procs off of crits, right? Or bull procs off of crits. Things like that, or a fire beast, whatever have you. Whatever your support skill, or sorry, whatever your support beast active skill is for your support beast, I would run those chips on your second beast, basically. So if you're running a fire beast and it procs on crit, then put crit chips on that beast. If you're running you know, a counter beast or whatever have you on grass, get more counter chips or whatever, that kind of a thing. And which would be this best to stick with, because I don't have a lot of talent change tickets. Honestly, I would stick with this. I would stick with this. You're really not missing out on a lot here. Like, if you were to take these talents away in the field, you would just get more bonus rage regen and then, like, some attack, right? And some travel speed. But that's about it. You're really not missing out on a lot by just running this right here. You're still getting the full rage regen. You're still getting the survivability. You're still getting the bonus damage for range squads. Yeah, this is what I would just run 24/7 personally. I have a different talent setup because I think I gave this to somebody else for strictly field, but I don't run Chasey as lead, so I haven't had to change those talents. Crab looks really strong as support. Thanks. Yeah, no problem at all. Yeah, I'm in IWRI for District Showdown. Correctamundo. Right here. See, where does the Chasey get her survivability from? Her skill damage reduction, which she gets from Garrison during this time, reduces basic attack damage taken and skill damage taken. Reduces skill damage taken. She inflicts charm, which reduces the damage that the enemy deals. Reduce AoE damage taken, which is obviously the majority of like range skills. And then talents, same thing, skill damage reduction, skill damage reduction, skill damage reduction. And the majority of your damage comes from skill damage. What's up, more Doomsday? How's it going? Just shared my Pango in game with a question about my OC chips. I'm watching on YouTube right now and asked about the Pango Bull Pango knife head pairing. I'm working on OC chips still right now, so they're separated at 2 Pangos. Should I bring the OC all into my golden bowl or keep them separated until it's a 3-star 6-piece? Oh, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. I would... They're 2 stars as well. I would bring them over. I would personally bring them over. Wait. Yes. I would bring them over because active skill damage flat amount is huge, right? Like if you were to get bonus crit damage, bonus combo damage, bonus counter damage, things like that are multipliers on top of your active skill, this just increases your base active skill damage, which is then, you know, bonused by crit, by combo, by counter, that kind of a thing. So this flat amount here is huge. So I would take that 6-piece bonus any day of the week. I would move it all over to a 6-piece bonus. I think Ollie has probably the biggest peanut here, just from knowing him. Some people say it is better to run Sophie and Ethan as Garrison. I think that is kind of a blanket statement where they try to make one shoe size fit all. And to me, if you are in a lower G bracket, I'm talking like middle of elite or lower, you could get away with having the lesser rage proc from having Sophie and Garrison. But if you're in a higher G bracket, you really need the Garrison tree for the survivability that it provides. Because if you don't have the Garrison tree and you're missing out on it, then you're missing out on things like skill damage taken reduction, or when you're getting swarmed, you get, you know, an additional 8% flat damage reduction, that kind of a thing, along with the rage regen here. I would say that the survivability is more important if you're in a higher G bracket, where in the lower G bracket, the higher damage output of a lower rage proc is more important. So it just depends what G bracket you're in. The head and spine is 5-star. That's why I keep the head and spine OC on my support. I get that. I would still move it over, because what you're getting in a little bit of bonus attack and defense, which is still being nullified to 75% at best, is taking away from the fact that you could have, what is it, like 39% bonus active skill damage, which is a huge amplification in damage. Like, you'd have to have a very high amount of bonus attack to supersede that bonus. Yeah, no worries at all, Maddox. Also, guys, today's live, I apologize, is not going to be like a 4-hour live like yesterday's and stuff. I can feel myself getting sick for sure, so I don't want to overdo it. I'm going to take some medicine and try to relax today, but I'll be here as long as you guys need me to. I just want to give you a heads up. This isn't going to be like a 4-hour stream. I can already kind of feel it today. Felt it yesterday, can definitely feel it today. Hit like a truck today, my goodness. I apologize in advance, though. But I'll try to stream for Pompeii, tomorrow or the next day or whenever it is, and obviously Island Raid too. We'll stream for the bracket reviews and during Island Raid also. But in preparation for that, I definitely want to take some medicine and chill today when I can. But yeah, anything else? Anything else at all? Appreciate you guys bringing these questions and stuff like that to the channel and whatnot. I will tell you that I'll answer a lot of the questions you guys have here based on the information I know. And if it's a question that I haven't visited in a while, I'll actually take it offline and look at it more, and then, you know, adjust my answer in the future as necessary when it comes up. But yeah, I appreciate you guys bringing this stuff. I appreciate it. Thank you, Mosin. No. We'll give it we'll obviously give it at least a few more minutes just to see if anyone else has anything. I was just on here just chilling this morning, resetting my marches and taking a look more at that beast chip stuff that I kind of saw come up. So I was like, oh, I'm just sitting around hanging out. Why not turn on the stream for a bit? Yeah, I don't want to sit here and be clearing my throat all day long in front of you. What should a new player focus on more at the beginning? I think I wasted a lot of resources to start and figure things out. Figure things out. Now, in regards to that, Crocsar, are you talking about, like, should you focus on, like, refinery or armaments or garage, that kind of a thing? If so, I would say don't focus so much on your parts, your equipment parts. Those things you can kind of get passively from events and stuff like that over time. I would say your armaments are the most important. Focus on getting your first goal should be getting one armament set to 4.5 mil or 5 mil. Really 4.5 mil. So your hero pair for that armament set, and that armament set getting it to 4 mil is the most important. From there, your refinery is the second most important. From there, your garage and your beasts are probably tied. I'm from the US. Mountain time where I'm at. I'll still be here for a minute. Manny, but I appreciate it. What are the best pairs for Isabella? For infantry, it's going to be like your Boyd for single target because he has skill damage as well. She pairs well with Miyamoto or Eileen to increased AoE damage. She pairs well with ranged. Honestly, you could pair her in ranged with anybody because everybody with range typically does high skill damage. The bonus skill damage she provides is just going to amplify that. So you could pair it with like Louis or Ethan or Sophie and get bonus like AoE damage. Whereas you could pair her with like Cedric, for example, or Spectra and get like high single target damage. So it really just depends on what you're looking for there. In terms of riders, you just want to pair her with anybody that does skill damage, so you can't really go wrong there. Just don't pair her with Chasey, obviously, because Chasey doesn't deal skill damage, and that's kind of the only call out. Isabella pairs really well with anyone, though. So I play a lot of Armored. I play a lot of Arc Raiders. Unfortunately, I still play a lot of League of Legends. I don't know why, but Arc Raiders, Battlefield, I play a lot of RPGs too, so like the Diablos, the Path of Exiles, Last Epochs, that kind of a thing. But as of recently, mostly I've just been playing like Arc Raiders and Battlefield and Rainbow Six Siege. So, I mean, I'm down to play anything, really. I would stream Dota, but I would get mass reported banned if I ever did. Oh, brother, I have had in the, 15 years or whatever it is that I've been playing League, I've probably had like 20 accounts banned. And that's not me exaggerating at all. I get banned so much on that game, it's not even funny. Maddox, you put, my purple Pango is max, while my golden bolt is tier 9, with almost max potential and only 3 upgrades missing for pristine life. Is that the time to change the purple Pango with the bolt? Yeah, absolutely. I would go with the gold bolt at that point. I actually usually recommend that people make the switch from a purple to a gold once the gold crosses tier 7. Just because of the core damage that it does when it crosses to tier 7. So the fact that you have it tier 9 with potential already in there, I would make the switch for sure. What is the size of my booty cheeks? Last question. Well, I mean, I guess you'll just have to find out. You could ask Panda. Panda has actually quite a few pictures of me from real life. I think he actually also has my Instagram. Yeah, you could ask him. I give him a lot of workout advice. No worries, Oasis. How much does it take to get OC chips? I can barely get a single 1 to 3 stars. A stupid amount. Broke boss. A stupid amount. But a lot of it just depends also on your matchup in Biohazard Frenzy. This has definitely been one of my more painful ones for sure. But it really just depends on your luck on your matchup there. I would say that your best bet is to get them from this event, the mysterious safe one, and then that pack that pops up. What's up, Fred? How's it going? You missed a goated season on PoE. I know that they just put out the season preview for Path of Exile 2 that comes out on December 4th. I'll be playing that for sure. I know that the PoE season had a really good launch as well. I'm not really sure on what heroes to upgrade, what to build first in my shelter for now. I didn't have that many events that get good armaments. Send me a message in game, Crocsar. We'll take that offline. I'll help you build, because obviously it sounds like you're very, very early into your account. So right now is honestly probably the most vital time for you to make sure that you're building the right direction, so you don't have to try to backtrack progress. It's far less expensive to backtrack than if you set up a plan properly from the start. And we definitely learned a lot from playing this game for 3 years. So yeah, send me a message in game, and I'll help you out with that. If you jiggle them, do they clap? Oh my god. Yo, Armored has been day drinking. Dude, no problem, Armored, man. I love you, dude. Have a good one, brother. Appreciate you being here. Where am I doing DS this time, and how many spins have I done this round? I'm doing it in IWRI again. We have a good partnership with them for the event. They let me reserve the amount of players that I need to bring over from my alliance. I don't know. How do you see how many rolls you've actually done? I know that I've done more than 1,000. Is there any way that you can tell how many you've actually done? I don't know. It's been a really good event, though. Usual drama and dice event, people not buying their packs, and you. Oh, no, I think we did good on this one when I was looking. I think we had everybody give 4 for the most part. Looks like there's a couple people, but really only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people missed the mark out of everybody. So yeah, we did good on ours. We would also for PoE2. That's the big good thing that they missed for the 03. Oh yeah, I saw that coming. I know, I'm excited for it. My gold cat is +3 with 350 potential. Should he lead, or the +9 purple cat no potential? Ooh. Well, your purple cat isn't maxed out, and you actually have potential in your gold one. I would say just like add both of them as a support, and just see which one gives the most stats. Because until it's like maxed out, that's when like the skill damages like really kick into play, like that last few levels, like 10, 11, 12, and then starring out or whatever have you. So 10, 11, 12, 13. I would just look at the stat potentials that they both provide and just go with the one that gives better stats. And if their skill damages aren't a wide gap between how much their skill damage is, then yeah, I would go with the golden one probably. Hold on, I gotta ban this stupid Twitter or Twitch bot. See ya. Yeah, we had to do 4 packs in IWRI, so could I message you from another realm? Yeah. If you go to, well, here, let me do this for you. I'm gonna give you my player ID, Crocsar, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna go here to your chat. You're gonna hit add friend, and right here where it says enter player commander's ID to search, you're gonna paste mine in there. And then if you do that, let me borrow someone else's real quick. If you do that, what'll happen, and hit enter, it'll pop up, and then just send me a message here. You can click on it and then send me a message. So let me give that to you real quick in the Twitch chat. So there's the player ID. Just use that and just send me a message. I've compared quite a few different armaments lately, and I've been told many times that as garrison lead, I should try to aim for mainly troop block. Infantry block is really that important. 100%. It very much is min-maxing because just like hones in general are just a gamble, right? Like you're going to get whatever IGG or the game decides to give you. But I mean, I used to have 1200 block and I'm trying to get back up to it and actually supersede that. I'm only at 1080 right now. But yes, as garrison, block is your best friend on armaments. Block and obviously the damage reduction on your devices. So I have like 1080 block, 20% damage reduction, 24% basic attack damage reduction, 24% HP, and then AoE damage reduction as well. Things like that. Yeah, but it's definitely up there. I want to switch this 50% defense to more block. 40% attack is fine. I don't have like really any lethality at all. I think I have like 250. Yeah, 250. But it is very much min-maxing towards the end, yes. If you can get block as your majority on your way up, 100%. But, yeah. It's still just min-maxing. Wait a minute. Hold on a minute. Wait, Maddox, this is you, right? Dude, if you're ranged, fuck everything else and just go full lethality. Go full lethality and attack. For infantry, yes, it matters a lot. But on ranged garrison, if this is your ranged garrison set, is this you? No, this is you. Okay, never mind. Sorry, this is someone else. Okay, sorry, I got that confused because I saw the beast there and you were talking about beasts. I confused myself. Never mind. Scratch that. If you're ranged and play garrison, go attack and lethality. Maddox, yeah, you should go block. Oh, nice. Okay, well, we got that shot, so we can talk there. I'll bring that offline for you, Crocsar. We'll do that. Let me look at yours, Maddox, real quick. Bro, you have 85% attack. That's insane. Yeah, you have a very high damage output. And then that doesn't even account for the fact that you get 15% here, and then like another, what is it, like 18% or something like that down here when you get the rare home. Yeah, you have a very high damage output, Garrison. I go for high sustain because I let my beast do a lot of the damage for me. Yeah, no, that was on me. I figured it out real quick. I was like, wait a minute, this can't be him because I swear that he had his name in his profile. But no, the beast here threw me off because you were asking the question about beast earlier. That's on me. That's on me. Like I said, as you can tell, I don't feel that great. What would you do to improve the Sophie in the field garrison? Okay, there we go. There we go. Get rid of all of your block and defense and just go full attack lethality if you can. Get rid of your travel speed. Here's the thing, right? Travel speed is great for infantry. If you're running like the Miyamoto and Eileen or Miyamoto Idut, runners or whatever have you, and they're especially good on riders because riders are very like hit and run. Don't get travel speed on ranged. It's a hot take. Most people be like, oh, get move speed on range because they die easily. If someone sees that you have range as one of your 5 marches, they're going to target it regardless of if you have move speed or not. So all that you're doing is crippling yourself when you are fighting, because this could instead be 65 lethality or 5% more attack. But instead you don't. 5% move speed isn't going to save your march. And at the end of the day, if someone sees a ranged march in the field, they're going to hit it regardless of whether you have, or if you have 30% move speed or 0% move speed. They're going to target you anyways. So you might as well make it to where while you're not being targeted, or even while you are, you just deal as much damage as you possibly can. So I am someone that advocates to just get rid of the travel speed on your ranged armaments. Plus on this one, you're taking up a hone slot of 5.9% travel speed. What if, right? Like what if the stars aligned, your chakras aligned, IGG is in favor of you, whatever you want to call it, right? God answers your prayer. What if you get a 5% squad damage here in its place? Would you rather have 5.9% travel speed or 5% squad damage? You tell me. Yeah, no worries, man. I mean, you have 5.9% here. You have 5.6% here. So you have like, what, 11% or so? Yeah, you have 11%. That's not going to be the difference between you staying alive or not. But if you had 130 more lethality or 10% more attack, it could, especially because attack and lethality scale your skill damage very well, it could, improve your reports quite a bit. Not obviously like a drastic amount, but it's those small incremental things that you do to work towards those improvements. Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. Your range march is going to get targeted regardless of if you have 30% move speed or 0. But if you have 30% move speed and they're all red hones, that's 5 hone slots. Would you rather have 30% move speed and die anyways because they're going to target you? Or would you rather in its place have 300 lethality or 30% attack? Like, it's a huge amount that you can actually net gain in terms of your outgoing performance. You're going to get targeted. It's inevitable. So while you're not getting targeted, just maximize your damage. Especially because you're an AoE march as ranged. That bonus damage that you're dealing isn't just felt by the target that you're hitting, but all the, up to 4 other marches around you as well. So it really does compound. Yeah. Base stats. Yeah. Ranged has 20% more attack than infantry does, which is why when people try to build infantry with like high attack and stuff like that, it's not usually advised. Which is why I was kind of surprised that Maddox has so much attack, because you're kind of almost crippling yourself by doing that. Like, infantry trades best because of their sustain, not so much their